everyone, it's me. I'm back again. And today I wanted to talk about a milestone that I have reached in my life. And that is that I have been on this Breatharian path for 5 years. As of last month, I completed my 5 years. So I'm on my 6th year on this Breatharian path. So I just want to share 5 things that I have learned on this path, and I want to share it with you guys, give you my experience. The first thing I learned is to work out and keep your body active. I know when I went on the Breatharian path, this was August 2018, and I did my first 3.5 day dry, and I told myself that for 1 year, I'm not going to have any solid food, and I continue on this path, and I lost a lot of weight. And I know the first few months I lost a lot of weight, and I used to not work out because I thought, oh my God, I don't have enough energy. Not that I felt weak, but I just felt like I wasn't nourishing my body enough, and I don't know if I could do all the workouts, and maybe I need to conserve my energy. And I kind of went into that. And then what ended up happening is I lost all my muscle mass, and I was horrified of looking at myself because my skin was hanging and I was just kind of skin and bones. And important thing to do is when you're on this path is to keep your body active and keep working out. Once you tell yourself that you were nourished by pranic energy and that you have the energy to work out, then your body will follow. So your mind leads and your body will follow. That's one of the things that I learned, is to keep your body active. And the more active your body is, the more pranic energy will flow through your body. So that's a very important thing to do. Number 2 thing that I learned, food is a form of addiction. You don't really realize that food is a form of addiction when you're eating, but when you have to stop eating, then you realize what an addiction it is. And I realized what a form of addiction food really is. You can't really hide behind food when you stop eating. You can't, sometimes a lot of people eat because maybe they're angry or they're upset or something to kind of give them comfort. But when you're on this path, you have to find a way to get past all these emotions and stuff without covering up with food. And that's when you really realize that food is a form of addiction. And most people kind of go to their day-to-day lives and don't realize it's like, okay, if you have a bad day, oh, I'm going to go get some fries, or I'm going to go get something. And then they kind of stuff their emotions with the food. But when you can't do that, then you realize that a lot of people use food as a form of addiction or form of comfort. But when you continue on this path, you realize that you can't really do that. And then you have to find ways to deal with whatever comes up and not hide behind food. So when I started on this path, I told myself no solid food for 1 year. So I had to realize I had to figure out how to deal with things coming up without hiding behind food. So there are 6 things I did to help myself get over the addiction of food. Not that I'm completely over it, but there are 6 things that have helped me. Number 1 thing is yoga and meditation. I did a variety of meditations. However, one of the meditations involved visualizing energy coming into my body and telling myself that I was taken care of and that the prana around me was taking care of me. So that was one of the meditations that really made me believe that I was taken care of. And I could kind of slowly over time feel the energy coming into my body. But I had to sit with that. And of course, yoga is something that I practice regularly. Number 2 thing, which is very controversial, is that I use chlorine dioxide, also known as MMS. It's been a life changer. MMS has been a life changer. I can't tell you what a life changer it's been. It's made my transition into the pranic lifestyle much easier. If you guys don't know about it, I suggest you look into it. I found out about MMS back in 2010. And I took this before my breatharian journey, and I continue to take it up until now. It is something that really helps you detox your body. It gets rid of heavy metals and parasites and things that are not working for you. So it's a real deep detoxing thing that you can do. They say that when you crave particular types of food is because you have that bacteria in your body or that parasite in your body that is craving that. And so that's why you crave that kind of food. But when you take chlorine dioxide, basically it is killing all the parasites or whatever that doesn't serve you, and then the cravings go away. So in a way, your parasites are controlling what you eat. So if you don't want to eat certain kinds of foods which are bad for you, then maybe chlorine dioxide is a good thing to take. So I used to take it regularly and my cravings came down. And if you look it up online, they don't really want you to know what it is. So be careful about anything that's good for you. They'll probably find a way to demonize it. So this is something that's very powerful. They probably don't want it out. And so anyways, and I will leave a link below in the description, kind of a little bit of information about chlorine dioxide, just in case you guys are interested. I know in my previous videos I've talked about it, but it is something that has really helped me on my path. So number 3 thing that's helped me is air feasting. So not that I've always done this, but as I continue my path, I realized that air feasting is something that is really important to continue on this path. It's not like you can just go to a breatharian retreat and say, oh, I did 3.5-day dry, now everything's fine, and now I'm breatharian, and now I don't need to do anything. It is a constant practice. Like I have said in the past, it's like a runner running. You can't just say that, oh, you know what, I ran, and now I don't need to do anything, and now I'm a runner. Well, I don't know. I think a lot of runners would disagree with that. If you're a runner, you want to continue running, you want to improve your timing. I mean, those kinds of things you want to do. So being a breatharian is the same way. There are a lot of things that you have to do to continue and maintain yourself on this path. So one of the things I say is air feasting, which is also known as fasting or dry fasting. So I do, and not that I've always done this, but as I continue on this path, I realize that it's really important to do a dry fasting once a week. It could be 24-hour dry fasting or 36-hour dry fasting or whatever, but do at least a 24-hour dry fasting once a week. And I have started doing that. And I also do a 3.5-day dry feasting every quarter. So once in 3 months, I do a 3.5-day dry fast. And I realize that every time I do this air feasting, it changes my body in some way or the other. It keeps me progressing on this path. And that's kind of what I want, is to keep progressing on this path. So air feasting is a must if you want to be on this path. Keeps you on the breatharian path. And the number 4 thing I did is I surrounded myself all things breatharian. I immersed myself in videos and books. It's almost like I had to brainwash myself to believe that I could do this, and that it is possible, because the outside world thought that I was crazy. So this was one way I knew how to keep my sanity and keep going on this path. So I would watch videos, I would read books, I would do whatever I could do to, in a way, like I said, almost brainwash myself to think, hey, you know what? This is possible. Because if you look at the outside world, they tell you this stuff is not possible and you are crazy. So I had to almost, like I said, brainwash myself to believe that I could do this. So that is number 4. And the number 5 thing I had to do was respect my body, because I knew I was in this for the long run and I needed to be more grounded in this path. I couldn't just be like, okay, like I go all in on it and then burn out. So I knew that this is something that I want to pursue, and it was for the long run. So I knew there was no beating myself into this, that I had to be easy and gentle, and I had to ground myself. So as I continued on this path, what happened was my vibration changed, my frequency changed. So the same things that I was attracted to, I was no longer attracted to. And so slowly my ingestion, whatever I was taking in, became lighter and lighter. But I couldn't have gotten to that point, had I not respected my body and what it needed in the beginning, initial stages. So if it was the heavier liquids I needed, for example, peanut butter, I gave myself, because I needed the grounding, I gave myself that in order for me to then continue on this path. And I no longer resonate with peanut butter, but had I not had that peanut butter, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it is one of those things where you respect your body and you say, okay, what is it that you need? What is it that's going to make you feel grounded? And for me, it was ground nut, also known as peanuts, because I couldn't have the peanuts whole, I ground them. And if you know anything about grounding peanuts, it becomes into peanut butter. And if you've ever made peanut butter at home, you know peanut butter turns into a very thick liquid. And so that's what I had to ground myself. And I no longer have peanut butter. It doesn't resonate with me. It's too thick, but that's what I needed to begin with. And that is what I did. And I knew I was in for the long run. And I knew that if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be able to sustain myself on it and I would give up and my body wouldn't be able to do it. So I basically respected my body and gave my body what it needed, which is the grounding that it needed. So number two thing that I was in it for the long run was, I give you examples. I remember I had gone to Thailand. Thai food was my absolute favorite food. I remember when I first started my Breatharian journey, I went to Thailand and I just loved Thailand because it had so many of the soups and juices and like the tom yum and the tom kha and some of the curries. I wouldn't eat the vegetables, but I have the curry, the liquid from the curry. And it was so delicious that I really loved it. Then a year later, I went back to Thailand and I was looking forward to having all the soups and all the tom yums and all the tom khas. And you wouldn't believe it. I was there for a month and I wanted to have all the soups. So when I got there, something changed. And you wouldn't believe it, but I was there for a month and I didn't have anything, any Thai food at all. Somehow my resonance with Thai food went out and I didn't have any Thai food. And as time went on, I gave up coffee, tea, garlic, onion, and a lot of the things like the heavy soups, like the dals with lentil soups, I gave all that up and it no longer resonated with me. Again, like I said, it's all about evolution and not revolution. You have to evolve into the pranic state and not fight yourself into it. Just be slow and gentle and slowly evolve into it. So that is what I did. And of course, if none of that worked, like, I would then put food in my mouth and spit it out. So that was the thing that I did. And sometimes when you're in a situation where people want to go out and stuff and none of that and you just want to be part of the thing, then that's what I do. Like I did this past summer when I was in Italy, right? I did a video on that where I just put things in my mouth and spat it out. So that's the thing I did. And being on this path is like telling an alcoholic that you can have only one drink a day. They'll not be able to do that. You have to go to the underlying issue of what's causing the person to become an alcoholic. Even if they give up alcohol, they'll find another addiction. Apparently, they have a term for this called dry drug. And as you can see, it takes a lot of soul searching to continue on this path. And that's what I did, a lot of soul searching, a lot of being easy and gentle with myself. The number three thing that I wanted to talk about on this path is food freedom. Food freedom. What does food freedom mean? So let me give you an example. I went on a 7-day dry retreat and basically no food or water for 7 days. And after the 7 days, I came back and something had changed within me. So let me give you a little background about it. I was raised in a way where I never wanted to have anything to do with the kitchen or do any cooking or anything like that. And so I always avoided that. I always had like I always went out to eat or had some processed food or things like that, but I never really wanted to cook myself because I had an issue with cooking and going in the kitchen. So after my 7-day dry, I don't know what happened to me, but some block got cleared and all I wanted to do was cook. And I just cooked and cooked and cooked. And I remember I was going to LA to a friend's house and I was going to be there for a couple of weeks and his family was there and all I was doing was cooking for them. I was cooking like breakfast, lunch and dinner and I kept cooking. And to the point my friend knew me from earlier and he was like, did you take some cooking classes or something? What is this thing with you cooking? Because he knew I never wanted to cook. And I was making all this food that they all loved. And so anyway, so that was kind of a testament to how much I hated cooking and how much I had changed that I wanted to cook so much. So that's what happened. And somehow I gained this food freedom because, when I first went on my Breatharian retreat, I remember there were people on the retreat who who had to go back to their homes and cook for their family. And I used to think, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not them. If I had to go back home and cook for my family, I wouldn't be able to be on this path. I mean, could you imagine being surrounded by all this food and having to cook for them and not being able to eat yourself? I'm like, that's crazy. I would never be able to do that. But years later, I gained food freedom that I can cook for people, I can be around food, and it doesn't affect me. So in the past, I wouldn't be want to be around people that were eating because there was a part of me that felt deprived. Like, why can I not eat? How are they able to eat? And I would feel this deprivation, and I would avoid people at all costs who were eating, or not go to like food courts where people are eating if I was in a mall or something like that. So I would avoid it at all costs because there was a part of me that felt deprived. But as time passed, I now have food freedom. Freedom from the anxiety of cooking, freedom from the fear of being around people eating, freedom from most things related to food. So that is food freedom that I have gained over the years. And the other thing that I started, which is about a year ago, is urine therapy. And I started that on November 11th, 2022. Less than a year ago, I started urine therapy. Urine therapy is your body's own personal medicine tailored to you, rebalancing you in a way you need. It is hydrating, it's satiating, it is structured water. It kills parasites in your body. Urine is a hunger suppressant. It has vitamins and minerals. For example, I was sitting outside in the backyard recently, and there was a lot of pollen in the air, and it was like almost like snowing pollen in the air, and you can see it all around you. And I sat there for a little while thinking, is this going to affect me or not, because I have pollen allergies? And I sat there and nothing happened. But then I started getting a little runny nose and itchy eyes. So I went back in and I said, okay, let me drink my urine. And a few minutes later, after I drank my urine, my allergies were gone. And this is an example of your perfect medicine. I have another example. Is recently I was in Italy, and I was traveling in Italy, and you wouldn't believe what happened. Well, you might believe what happened, but I was walking on the road, and I was in my sandals, and there was the road wasn't clear. There was like a pothole in the road, and I kind of stepped into that, and I fell. And I fell right on my hand here. Like all the weight went on my hand. Like I didn't even scratch myself on my knee or anywhere. It just, all the weight, I just landed straight on my wrist right here. And I was lucky. I felt like I felt like I might have broken it or something, because I couldn't move it afterwards. It was like really, like, I was so scared to move it. I didn't know what was happening. And then I knew, like, Dr. Group. I had seen one of his videos. If you don't know Dr. Group, you can Google him. But I had seen Dr. Group's video, and he had sprained his ankle, and he put urine on his ankle, and it healed. So I thought, well, why don't I do that? So then I went back to my hotel or my Airbnb, and I took a cloth, and I had urine all over it, soaked with urine. And then I put it on my hand, and then I put like a plastic bag over it, and I kind of left it there for like a half an hour. Actually, I left it there for 2 hours. And then after the 2 hours, it felt much better, and it wasn't hurting as much, basically. So say if you get a snake bite and it's a poisonous snake, shortly after you get bitten, you can drink your urine, and your body will create antibodies, and that will be like an anti-venom. So you can, save yourself that way. So urine is just your perfect medicine. When you're traveling, you always have your medicine with you. If something happens, you always have your urine with you. So that is your perfect medicine. And if you have a sore throat or something, and you're traveling and you don't know what to do, or even if you're not traveling, you just drink your urine, and your sore throat will go away. You won't get a cold. So urine has a lot of benefits. It's good for your skin. It's good for your hair. It's just basically good for your body. It has a frequency of its own, and it raises your own frequency. So that's urine therapy. And I've been doing it for about a year now, almost a year now. I wouldn't have it any other way. I just continue drinking my urine, and it's like a secret. It's like a secret weapon I have, you know? If something happens, I have two things that I can do. I can do MMS, or I can do urine therapy, or I can do both. So that's you know, any virus, anything that's out in the world that you're scared of, well, you have your urine and you have MMS, and then those are the two best things you have. You don't have to worry about all the things that people are scaring you for, because your body is creating your perfect medicine. If you feel that that's not strong enough, you always have MMS with you. You have those two things, and you can be as free as you want to be, and not having to worry about oh, this person has a cold, I don't want to catch their cold, because it doesn't matter, because you have your urine, or you have your MMS with you, so nothing's going to happen to you. You're safe and protected if you have these two things. And I travel with MMS all the time. Wherever I go, I always have that with me, and of course I always have my urine with me, so my body's always producing urine. So I don't have any fear of getting something, or fear of anything. I live without that fear. So the fifth thing is healing. It's not just healing physically, but healing relationships. This fast did not allow me to harbor any negative feelings, or it doesn't allow you, because then you can't progress on your path. So having any negative feelings towards people or towards things is not something that allows you to progress on this path. So the thing is to forgive. And forgiveness may be, just letting it go. But it's not about letting it go. It's about, when you forgive, something happens within your heart, is that you change as a person, who you are. And as you start changing as a person, everyone else starts changing as well. And that's what I have seen in my Breatharian path, is that as I started approaching things with lots of love, heaps of love, compassion, I have realized that people around me start changing. And so that's what I have seen. So once these relationships that were so strained have become so loving, and it's incredible for me to see that the healing that has happened. It reminds me of a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. He said that your greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves. And also by Michael Jackson, the famous saying that if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. And when you heal yourself, you heal generations and break the cycle. And that's what I feel that I have been fortunate enough to do, is to be able to heal myself and heal. And as I healed myself, I've seen that healing all around me has occurred. So these days I find myself putting the intention out into the world. Whatever it is that I want, I put the intention out into the world. And the universe tends to make it happen, because I think I have cleared so many emotional, physical, mental, spiritual blocks that I might have had. And so things start manifesting a lot easier than they used to. And this is one of the benefits of being on the Breatharian path. You get to the true essence of who you are, is what I've said in the past, and it's true. You get to the true essence of who you are. And that's what this Breatharian path is all about, is letting go of a lot of the things, a lot of the layers that we have in ourselves, just peeling it away to get to the true essence of who you are. And that's what I feel like that this journey has done for me. And it continues to do for me as I keep peeling away the layers and layers and layers and layers that we kind of put on ourselves over the years. So as you keep peeling it away, you get to your true, authentic self. So there is no faster way to make any changes in your life than to be on this Breatharian path. It is the fastest way I know. You can do meditations and breathing and go to retreats and do all that. But on this Breatharian path, there is no faster way to make changes in your life than to be on this path. And it all starts with food. I mean, this Breatharian path all starts with food. Once you start giving up food, you start changing your life. And it's so amazing that it's the food that does it. So what you put into your body makes a big difference. As you start changing that, your life starts changing. So this whole path has been a transformational journey for me. It's self-discovery, healing, personal growth. I've learned the key to this path is not revolution, but it's evolution. So you evolve into this path. You don't fight your way into it. You don't force yourself into it, but you evolve into it. So like I said, it's an evolution, not a revolution. You're not fighting your way into this path, but you're evolving your way into this path. So everyone's experience will be different, but I just wanted to share my story, and I hope my story will inspire others on this path. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening to my story and my journey. And thank you for all your support that you have given me throughout these years. Just being able to tell you guys about my day-to-day ebb and flow of life and things that are going on, and just kind of telling you about it has helped me also on my path. And all your support and all your love and kindness has helped me continue on this path. So thank you so much for all of your love and kindness, and with all your comments that you make and everything that you've given me. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. And I hope this video has helped you in some way. So thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.